Hello and welcome back to another Student Life video. I am Sophie and today I'm going to be showing you how to make 3 simple vegan meal recipes. So if you don't already know, what vegan means is that you don't consume any animal products, so no meat, dairy, fish, all of that kind of thing. Not only can being vegan be better for your health, such as lowering risks of heart disease, but it's also more beneficial for the environment for lowering greenhouse gas emissions. Whilst being vegan does mean you're more likely to get in your 5 a day, it doesn't mean it's healthy all the time. Many takeaways are now offering vegan options, and many of your shop favourites may already be accidentally vegan. 2 favourites of mine are Jammy Dodgers and Party Rings. The 3 recipes I'm going to be showing you today are easily adaptable for however you might want to personalise them, and all you'll need for each one is either a saucepan or an oven-proof dish. The first thing we're going to make is a mixed bean and veg chilli. So what you will need is an onion, some garlic, a choice of veg, some beans or other protein of your choice, tinned tomatoes, and then some seasoning. So I used mixed herbs and chilli powder. So you want to start by heating some oil in your pan over a medium heat. Chop up all your veg and add it into the pot. Once the onion has started to soften a little, add your garlic as this cooks a little bit quicker. Stir until all the veg is starting to soften and then add your beans in. Stir these through for a few minutes just to cook through. Now if you prefer a thicker chilli, you could stop here and just add your seasoning, but I like mine a little bit thinner, so I'm also adding a tin of tomatoes. Cook this through and then add your seasoning. I added a generous sprinkle of herbs and chilli powder. Stir through once more and then pop a lid on to let the tomatoes reduce a little bit. Keep stirring whilst you do this because I did burn it a little bit in the saucepan. But once you're happy with the consistency, serve and enjoy. For a more hearty meal, you can choose to serve this with something like rice or pasta, but as this was my lunch, I chose to just have it with a little side salad. Now for our second recipe, we're going to be making a risotto. I'm not quite sure if this is a traditional risotto, but it's how my mum taught me and it tastes amazing. What you will need is risotto rice, so it's arborio rice, stock cubes, and a choice of veg. To start, preheat your pan and then you're going to chop up all your veg and add it in. Whilst this softens, boil the kettle ready for making your stock, as well as measuring out your rice. Use 75 grams per person, so I used 150 for a couple of portions. Once your veg has softened, add in your rice and fry off for a couple of minutes. You're then going to add the stock a little at a time, letting the rice absorb all of it first. I start with making up a litre of stock and then adding in around 200 millilitres each time. Keep adding this until the rice is soft and the liquid is gone. Then serve and enjoy. If you wanted, you could add some vegan cream cheese here, just stir it through whilst it's still warm. I chose not to, but it does make it a little bit more tasty. Our final recipe is a British classic, toad in the hole. As we're making this vegan, it's a little more dense and doughy than the traditional, but it still tastes just as good. For this recipe, you will need 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 125 grams of strong white bread flour. I'm using gluten-free just because it's what I had. 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt, 275 millilitres of milk of your choice. I'm using oat milk, and some frozen vegan sausages. I'm using the Richmond sausages. So you want to start by heating a pan of oil in the oven at 200 degrees Celsius. I use olive oil. Whilst that's happening, we're going to make up the batter. So you want to mix the flour, baking powder and salt in a mixing bowl. Add 200 millilitres of the milk and whisk until smooth. Add the remaining milk and mix until thoroughly combined. Carefully take out the tin with the hot oil from the oven. It will be really hot, so just be careful here. Add the frozen sausages to the tin, spaced apart equally, and return to the oven for 2 minutes. Take it carefully out the oven once more and then pour over the batter. Pop the tin back in the oven for another 30 minutes or until the batter is risen, golden brown and hot throughout. Here I'm just plating mine up with some broccoli and gravy that I prepared whilst it was cooking, but you can serve with any veg of your choice. Sometimes I like to make a cheese sauce and serve with cauliflower cheese for a more indulgent meal. So there we have it, 3 simple vegan recipes that you can try at home. As we said before, anything's really easy to substitute, just knowing what to do and where you can get your sources from, whether that's an alternative milk or a different protein source, such as lentils, beans, chickpeas, or even meat substitutes like we did use in the toad in the hole. If you give any of these recipes a try, be sure to tag us on social media. You can find us at UOL Student Life on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and TikTok for more content for students by students. See you next time.